welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Crystal and today we're going to go through whether I think it's worth going to makeup school and studying to be a pro makeup artist, or whether it is actually beneficial to be a self-taught makeup artist, because there is so much content out there on YouTube and on different online platforms where you could actually not go into a makeup school and end up getting a very similar outcome. So today we're going to go through my thoughts on that. Before we get into the video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. It would be so amazing if we get to 1,000 subscribers very soon. I mean, that's like my goal. So definitely go and hit that subscribe button and also turn on your post notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my future videos. And also go and check me out on my Instagram as well. My handles will be on the screen for you guys to go and check me out over there. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Before we dive into my thoughts on makeup school, I thought I would tell you guys what my lip combo is at the moment, because I am literally obsessed with this. Like, I'm totally wearing this to my wedding day. It's so like nice. It's like my perfect nude. So what I've done is I've combined Anniversary from Huda Beauty. This is the matte lipstick from them, and then I've also got Blankety over the top. These two are like a match made in heaven. I love the color of these combined. Separately they're beautiful as well, but combined is like a whole other level. So on top of that, for the gloss, I have the Marc Jacobs Sugar lip gloss. It's stunning. It goes with every single color. Definitely recommend picking that up if you haven't already got it, but that is what is on my lips today. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that the market for makeup artistry is so saturated. Like, everybody these days wants to do makeup artistry on the side. They can see the fun of it, just how much joy it brings to people, and also how profitable it can be as well. Like, at the end of the day, makeup artistry is quite a profitable industry to be a part of if you are doing clients, especially weddings, massive bridal parties on weekends. So again, it is something that is extremely saturated, so you must be prepared for the fact that once you complete a makeup course, you actually very much so need to prove yourself. Like, people aren't just going to book you for no reason. You have to be prepared for the fact that you are going to be working for free or spending a lot of your time just doing content for your Instagram or your website or whatnot, just to get your name out there and prove that you actually can do makeup, not just on yourself. So that's my next point, is that doing makeup on somebody else versus doing it on yourself is extremely different. So personally, I actually think that I'm better at doing makeup on other people than I am at doing it on myself. And the reason for that is because I only have 30% vision in this eye. When I'm looking at myself and I'm trying to do my eyeliner and I have to close this eye in order to do it, it's actually very, very hard for me to get my eyeshadows to balance, to get my eyeliner to balance, to get everything to balance when my predominant eye, which is this eye, is closed. So it just makes it really, really hard for me to do that. So when I'm doing it on somebody else, I have better vision. I can see what I'm doing. I can see all different shades of light. I don't have any impairment on my vision. So I actually do personally think that my makeup artistry skills are better on somebody else versus on myself. But that's just my perspective. So coming back to my original point, there are a lot of makeup artists out there. If you go onto Instagram, a lot of people are qualified makeup artists or self-taught makeup artists. A lot of people who are self-taught makeup artists are just as good as makeup artists that have gone to makeup school. However, I do still think that going to makeup school is very important if you really want to set the foundations for a successful career as a makeup artist, purely because there are things that you do in makeup school that you would not do in your personal life. So for example, we did a lot of stuff on color theory. So unless that's something that you're very aware of and it's something that you are going to take the time to research and go out there and really think about and invest in the products that are going to serve that purpose, it's very important that you do have the principles of your makeup artistry down, and color theory is one of those. Another one is mature age skin. I mean, I didn't know anything about makeup artistry on mature age skin prior to going to makeup school. So I actually really benefited from doing that in class and learning about what kind of products work best for mature age skin. You're dealing with different skin types, you're dealing with different problems, you're dealing with different hydration levels and stuff like that. You're dealing with skin pigmentation. Not that you don't get skin pigmentation at a younger age, but it's a lot more prominent when you're more mature age. So it's things like that that you would not take your personal time to learn. Like, let's be real, you're going to be watching a haul on YouTube rather than watching how to do mature age makeup. Unless you are so passionate about this industry, you're not really going to be taking the time to do that. I mean, I know that I don't. If I didn't do that class, which was specifically created to teach us about mature age makeup application, I wouldn't have learned anything about it. So what would I do if I had a mature age client that booked me, I would literally be guessing as I'm doing their makeup, and that's not what they're paying for. I mean, you can't be charging them to give them a service if you have no idea what you're doing. You're not a professional. So I mean, I think that things like that are really important that you need to get down as a makeup artist, and makeup school does actually do that for you, whereas I just don't think that you get the same experience or the same outcome if you were to be a self-taught MUA. But that's just my perspective. I mean, each to their own, but that's just my thoughts on that. So you also need to take into account that marketing is a huge component of makeup artistry. So I should have completed my makeup course literally 3 days ago. So I am now a qualified MUA, so go me. That was my goal for the year, was to complete that course. So I'm super stoked with that. But I have come to realize that marketing is just as important as your artistry. If you can't market yourself in an efficient way, then I mean, you're not going to get any clients. And you have to understand that marketing costs money. So it's something that you don't really think about when you go into makeup artistry, is that you will need to invest financially into your marketing as well. So that can include things such as sponsored posts on Instagram, where you are actually paying for your post to be seen by people. It could be paying for business cards. It could be paying for videography. It's a lot of different things. You could be commissioning somebody to literally build you a website. I mean, I'm in the process of having a website built. I have somebody that I'm commissioning that from, because that is just a completely different domain to me. I cannot get my head around it. I don't know how I would do it myself. So I have actually commissioned somebody to do it for me. And then eventually, once I'm happy with it, I will upload that onto the internet and then have a full booking site through that. And then people can just go there if they want to book my services. So you've got to remember that all this stuff kind of adds up. For you to get a website, business cards, price listing sheets, that can come up to about $2,500 roughly. I mean, that's from my research, and that's what I'm prepared to pay for it if it does come to the crunch. But that's $2,500 outside of your kit, outside of your hygiene requirements, outside of your travel budget. That's a lot of money that you might not have thought about. So when you go to makeup school, a lot of the courses actually do incorporate an element of marketing in it. So it's really good because they can give you that exposure. So I know that something that worked really, really well for me for the school that I went to was that when I would complete a look on a face, either my own or on a model, I would upload the image and then I would tag the school in that image, and then I would also hashtag the school in that image. And a lot of the times people would repost my image on their page. So it was kind of inadvertently giving me some marketing without me having to pay for it, which was really great. If you can do that with a makeup school, that's great. But if you're not at a makeup school, you don't get that benefit. So I do think that that's a really, really key area where you can grow as a makeup artist through people just talking about you, or people who are interested in makeup artistry might click on that makeup school page and see your work and then be inspired from there. So I think that's really, really good. But marketing is so key to actually being successful as a makeup artist. If you don't get your head around marketing, you will not get the clients that you're hoping to achieve, and then financially you'll be impacted, and then in the long term you might come to resent wanting to go down that makeup artist track because people aren't booking you, and that can be a self-confidence thing as well. That could really affect you from that perspective. And I mean, look, it can be a lot of fun. I mean, I consider doing my YouTube as a form of marketing as well. I have learned so much about branding. I've learned so much about editing, like how to take really, really good shots. I mean, if you look at some of my original videos from when I first started YouTube at the beginning of this year versus now, the quality has gone up astronomically. I mean, even just the way that I present myself on a camera is very, very different to how it was back then. I mean, I take it a lot more seriously now. I'm having a lot of community engagement with you guys, which I think is really great. You cannot get a return on a business unless you invest into that business. And makeup school is your initial primary investment into yourself to grow and develop, and that has to continue to cycle over. But you just need to be prepared for the fact that it's not a matter of you pay your tuition to go to school and then that's it. Like, you've got to understand that there are other things underneath that that you need to consider when you do want to go to makeup school, and if you do want to become a makeup artist down that particular path. So another thing to be aware of if you are planning on going down the makeup school track for your education to become a makeup artist is that you need to consider buying bits for your kit quite early on in the piece. So the school that I went to, they provided quite a bit of makeup, but it wasn't quite enough for me to do what I wanted to do. So obviously the shades were a bit limited in terms of the eyeshadows and stuff like that, and when you've got 13 girls and boys in a class that are trying to utilize the same makeup, it can get a little bit busy in that area. So a real advantage that I had by going to makeup school and already having a large amount of makeup in my collection, which I was able to quite easily sanitize. You can use that through Isocol that you can get from Priceline. That's a disinfectant antibacterial alcohol spray, which you can use on your pans, which don't hard pan your palettes or anything like that. Obviously lipsticks that I had used directly on my lips, I could definitely not use that on somebody else, or anything that had come straight from the doe foot applicator onto my skin and then back into the component, no. But things like blushes, things like eyeshadow palettes, bronzers, highlights, all those sorts of things, you can scrape the top layer off or you can disinfect it down with spray. I had quite a few of those products already and I was able to bring them to makeup school, which really did give me an edge in terms of what I was able to produce in class, and therefore the final outcome and the scores that I got on my final assessment were really good compared to those who hadn't invested in their kit prior to going to makeup school and had to use what was already available to them. So that's just something to keep in mind. Again, it comes back to that financial thing. You've got to be prepared to spend the money if you want to step up and be the best in the industry. And then another thing to obviously keep in mind is that you need to learn how to take really great photos, because if your content doesn't stand out and look professionally shot, it's not going to draw in people to hire you as a makeup artist. So they do tend to teach you that sort of stuff at makeup school as well. I mean, that's something that I benefited from, that had really good lighting and stuff there, and that would show you how to take photos from the right angles and stuff like that, and they would really promote you taking photos of your work. Every single week when you do a look, they would say, oh, we would love for you to take a photo of that look and post it and start building a portfolio. And that's the key, is having a really strong portfolio will definitely pay off down the track. I mean, I've got quite a few photos on my Instagram. I had my handle to my makeup account at the beginning of this video. It'll be in the description box for you guys to go and check that out. But I've got a really good portfolio of photos that I'm now able to market either in a website form or on Instagram or whatever I want to do with it. Whereas if I didn't go to makeup school, I wouldn't have done all these different techniques on these different face shapes, tones of skin, the way that the eyes are shaped, like all that sort of stuff I wouldn't have done. So I'm very much appreciative of that. And again, I guess that comes to the conclusion of this video. I definitely think that makeup school is worth the investment. I can definitely say my skills as a makeup artist on somebody else and on myself have most definitely improved since finishing my course. Definitely the work that I was doing prior to going is not as strong as what it is now. I can see things and I can recognize things that I wouldn't have before. So if I was a self-taught MUA and I stayed at the level that I was at before, I actually don't think that I would be as confident in my artistry as I am today. So yeah, it is pricey, I've touched on that, but I mean, anything worth investing in as a business and anything worth investing in yourself is going to cost money in order to make it grow. So it's all about that risk, but I mean, I still think it's quite a low risk investment. I still don't see it as a bad thing, and you can learn. Like, I've been learning about marketing techniques and branding and all that sort of stuff, so I definitely still think that it is worth the investment. Makeup school was so much fun. I mean, you get a qualification at the end that's recognized, and you meet a lot of like-minded people that are there to support you through the whole process. So I definitely think that makeup school is worth the money. And if you are interested in going to makeup school period, even if you have been doing it on other people or trying to do the self-taught route for quite a while, I still think it is worth going to makeup school and just getting your skills refined. Even if you have done a lot of it before, refining those skills to be a lot more competitive in the market is definitely worth it. Really put yourself out there. So if you are based in Melbourne, I recommend the makeup school that I went to, which was the Academy of Makeup. They're based on Chapel Street in South Yarra, and they're also based in Cheltenham. They have artistry schools all around Australia, so definitely check to see if there's one in your state and it's one that you can attend, because I cannot say enough amazing things about them. The training was incredible. Everything was so on point. Like I reiterated this entire video, I totally think that going to makeup school is worth the investment, and yes, it's going to cost you money, but your return on investment is going to be incredible. And I mean, it's just an all-round good experience. You're investing in yourself, you're growing, you're developing. You can't go wrong with that. So that's pretty much everything from me. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, do not forget to subscribe before you leave and give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me out so much, you have no idea. And again, do not forget to go and check me out over on Instagram as well. I will have my handles in the description box below. And that's pretty much everything from me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.